This is the analysis of a baseball pitch. The purpose of pitching is to throw the baseball hard and with accuracy to get the hitter out. There are 5 phases that go into pitching. The 5 phases are the windup, cocking, acceleration, deceleration, and the follow-through. The wind-up phase is defined as the initial movement to the maximum knee lift of the stride leg. During the initial movement, the pitcher raises his hands over his head and then lowers them back to his chest. It ends with the elevation of the lead leg to its highest point and with separation of the throwing hand from the glove. The pitcher keeps his center of gravity over his back leg to allow generation of maximum momentum once forward motion is initiated. The cocking phase is broken down into early and late cocking. The early cocking phase begins once the lead leg reaches its maximum height and the ball is removed from the glove, and it ends when the lead foot contacts the pitching mound. The late cocking phase occurs between lead foot contact and the point of maximal external rotation of the throwing shoulder. The scapula is brought into a position of retraction, the elbow flexes, and the humerus undergoes abduction and external rotation. The acceleration phase begins when the ball is released and it ends when the shoulder is at maximum internal rotation. The arm deceleration phase begins when the ball is released and it ends when the shoulder is at maximum internal rotation. After the ball is released, the arm begins to slow down. During this phase is when pitchers are most susceptible to injuries. The follow-through phase is where the body moves forward until the arm has stopped moving. During this phase, the rest of the body catches up to the arm and the pitcher gets ready to field any balls hit back to him. The act of throwing a baseball is itself an open chain movement where the pitching arm rotates extremely quickly around the glenohumeral joint and the ball is released. Is it simultaneous or sequential? Speedy and lower force movements, such as throwing baseballs, tend to be sequential. Although children may start outperforming these motions in a more simultaneous way, using only the shoulder to throw, a highly skilled throwing action uses a sequential movement of the body. The 2 most important joints used while throwing are the shoulder and the elbow joints. The elbow is a hinge joint formed by the humerus and the ulna. The shoulder is a ball and socket joint formed between the humerus and the scapula. Besides the elbow and the shoulder joint, there are also other joints. The joints in the finger and the hand help hold the ball and hold the glove onto the hand. The knee joint and the hip joints are also used in the pitching motion. There are many muscles that go into throwing a baseball. They are the anterior deltoid, the pectoralis major, the serratus anterior, the biceps brachii, the brachialis, the teres minor, and the trunk extensors. Many injuries can happen while pitching. Overhand throwing places extremely high stresses on the shoulder, specifically to the muscles and joints that keep the shoulder stable. One of the most common injuries of the shoulder is a slap tear. In a slap injury, the top part of the labrum is injured. The top area is also where the long head of the biceps tendon attaches to the labrum. A slap tear occurs both in the front and in the back of this attachment point. Tommy John surgery is one of the most common injuries in the elbow. It's a tear of the ulnar collateral ligament. Many players avoid this surgery due to its lengthy recovery time and the pain of it. Even though a lot of players try and avoid the procedure, most of the pitchers come back throwing harder because they have a brand new UCL. Pitchers shouldn't avoid the surgery, they should just have the surgery. They will become healthy and not risk any further damage to their body. In conclusion, the human body is so amazing and can complete many amazing tasks. There are a lot of things that go into throwing a baseball. Pitching a baseball is a combination of complex tasks that are completed by both joints and muscles in the body. All of the joints and muscles work together give you the ability to throw the ball with accuracy, speed, and strength.